At the start of the movie, a group of students are getting ready to take a photograph. One of them, Tim Taylor, cannot control his laughter, which causes the image to blur. The annoyed photographer orders him to remain silent, and he obliges for a few minutes. But when the principal arrives with his funny mustache, he loses it. Tim's laugh causes the entire group to explode into laughter, and the picture is eventually ruined. Tim is a bright young kid who lost his mother at an early age and has only his father as family. Dad works for a construction firm, but the money is barely enough to keep them afloat. Despite this, Tim always has a smile on his face. His best friend is Ida, the daughter of a bakery owner. The two love going to watch comedy movies on a regular basis. Ida has a leg impairment since childhood, but Tim's smile always motivates her to remain happy in life. We also get to know that Tim and his father are very close. They regularly attend horse racing events and place bets on them, as it is their hobby. One day, Dad surprises Tim by introducing him to his new stepmother and her 14-year-old son, Erwin. The old man hopes that he will be delighted to have a full family, but things quickly turn sour for little Tim. Erwin insults him and also destroys his late mom's present. Despite the evil boy being at fault, the new stepmom defends him and instead orders Tim to apologize. The following morning, Ida asks Tim about the bruise on his face, but he quickly brushes it off by saying that he had an accident at home. Later, they go to see a movie, and every comical part makes Tim scream in laughter. Hearing him laugh, everyone else in the theater starts laughing as well. This shows Tim's positive influence around others. The next day, Tim is with his dad at the racetracks, and they win a bet. They collect the winning amount happily, and on the way back, Dad bumps into a weird-looking man wearing dark sunglasses. Tim looks extremely happy to be around his father, but little does he know that it was going to be his last meeting with him. In the next scene, there is a funeral held for Tim's father, who died while working on a construction site. Despite the tragedy, Tim's new stepmother looks to be unfazed and doesn't even bother getting a good tombstone for him. After he gets into another altercation with his greedy stepmom, Tim flees the funeral and arrives at the place his father loved the most, the racetracks. There, he discovers a coin, and as he tries to pick it up, the same weird-looking man arrives next to him. The man claims to be one of his father's friends and offers Tim a pre-filled slot. He also invites him to bet on Westwind, his favorite horse. After a grueling competition, Westwind manages to emerge victorious, resulting in Tim winning a huge amount from his bet. While collecting the money, he breaks down in tears and decides to get his father a respectable tombstone. But before he can do so, two thugs round him up and steal his money with a simple magic trick. Poor Tim only learns of the theft when Baron Luffet, the same weird-looking guy, informs him about it. Baron then lends him another 5 nickels and asks him to meet at the racetrack the next day. The following day, as Tim is about to depart from home, his stepmom asks him to get some cakes for her. He refuses at first, claiming that he is going to be late, but when she threatens to kick him out, he agrees. Tim then goes to Ida's bakery, where he is reminded of the money he owes them. He jokingly responds that he will rob the senator and repay them. Later, he arrives at the racetracks and waits for Baron. But when the guy doesn't show up, Tim falls asleep on the bench. As soon as he does so, the same 2 thieves from earlier arrive and steal his only coin. Once they depart, Baron finally shows up and asks the boy if he is ready. Tim checks his pockets, but fails to find the coin. This makes him worried, as he doesn't have any money to bet on the horses. Seeing this, Baron offers him a contract, in which he will assist him in winning every bid he places. The innocent Tim doesn't even care to read through the contract's terms and conditions and signs it right away. However, as soon as he signs the deal, his smile fades away. This implies that Tim has sold his laughter to Baron. Later, Baron enters his workplace with a wide grin, which surprises his coworkers. The 2 frauds are revealed to be his workers, who helped him to get the deal done. Baron then shrinks them into mice and orders them to keep an eye on the boy. Elsewhere, Tim pays off the bakery debt and takes Ida to a movie. But despite the scenes being extremely funny, he doesn't laugh even once. Later, Ida inquires about the source of his wealth, and Tim, with a dead serious face, claims that he robbed the senator. Seeing his expressions, she becomes concerned and leaves. In the next scene, Ida is gossiping with her mom about Tim's story when a customer at the bakery overhears it. By night, the entire community is aware of the story, and some of them twist it even further. The modified story is that the senator was cruelly assaulted and robbed by Tim. When Tim gets home, Erwin finds the money in his pockets and his stepmother berates him for disgracing her name. Our boy is unaware of what's going on, but before the matter can escalate, Ida's mom arrives with some important news. She reveals that the senator hasn't been robbed and the story is just a hoax. Hearing this, it finally dawns on Tim that Ida was the one who spread the rumor. He also announces that he won the money on the racetracks and he has the receipts to prove it. Later, Tim's greedy stepmother brings him and Erwin to the racetracks to see if he's actually good at predictions. They win the first 2 rounds, and this makes the stepmom very happy. So she puts all her money on their third bet. Tim selects an underdog horse named Halali, but it ends up finishing 4th. This enrages the evil woman, and she starts scolding him for his prediction. But in a surprising turn of events, the announcer declares that the first 3 horses have been disqualified, making Halali the winner. His stepmother jumps with pleasure and goes to collect her winnings, while Tim wanders outside a nearby hotel. Shortly after, he meets with an elderly hotel employee named Kreskamir, and the two engage in conversation. Tim asks if he can work while staying at the hotel, but Kreskamir says that that won't be possible. He claims that the place has too many staff in each and every position. Tim is upset by the news, but as he proceeds to leave, an idea strikes his mind. Since his predictions have never been wrong, he decides to use this to his advantage. He confidently approaches Kreskamir and bets that he will be hired at the hotel. Lo and behold, the hotel manager Yvonne arrives at the scene, saying she's in need of an elevator boy. Kreskamir quickly recommends Tim, and thus he gets to reside at the hotel. The next morning, Tim returns home to leave a goodbye letter to his stepmother. On his way back, he encounters Ida, but doesn't even say hi to her. He still has not forgiven her for spreading that fake rumor about it. Unfortunately, this hurts the little girl, and she arrives home crying. When she enters her room, she is taken aback to see Baron there, while her mother lies unconscious. The cunning man then tries to manipulate her by saying that Tim just wants to play with her. Ida doesn't know whom to believe, so he offers her a proposal. As the days pass, Tim continues winning large sums of money from betting. After he pays off everyone's debts and gives his dad a proper burial, he decides to get his laughter back. But unfortunately, when he goes to the racetrack to find Baron, he is not permitted to enter.